Thank you for joining our webinar today. We've got an exciting session for you focused on sharing an update to the changes that are coming to Project for the Web and Microsoft Planner. Let's get started. My name is Annie Levant, and I'm with a Microsoft Gold partner called PROJILITY. We've been implementing Microsoft project and portfolio management solutions and developing enterprise-level applications for over 18 years for large enterprises, including everything from engineering, construction, IT, and new product development. PMOs and CIOs typically come to us when they can't easily explain what's going on across all their projects. They don't know what resources are working on what work, and they have a hard time getting consistent reports and metrics to make project-based decisions. We're known for having a 90% on time, on budget track record for successfully implementing these solutions for clients. We offer services and solutions in three core areas: deployment and consulting services, PROJILITY's core business. We provide professional services for successfully planning and implementing Microsoft Project Portfolio Management, including Microsoft Project Online, integrating PPM with a line of business applications, and delivering strategic portfolio management solutions to support top-level management planning. We also have a growing Microsoft Power Platform practice where we're actively working with clients to build applications, workflows, and reports to automate their most important business processes. PROJILITY also offers a set of pre-built software solutions and accelerators based upon 18 years of experience, including a set of hammer-read products that provide improved access to your cloud PPM data, accelerate access to visual reports and dashboards using Power BI, connect data between your PPM system with Microsoft Teams, and extend connectivity into Active Directory to improve visibility, insight, and control of your work people and projects. New to our offerings is Hammerhead Power Pro, a pre-built solution crafted on the foundation of the Microsoft Power Platform and Project for the Web. This offering is designed to help bring some of our lessons learned on this platform to your organization. Finally, PROJILITY provides post-implementation support services, including expert care designed to assist your PMO with gaining on-demand expertise on the solution supported. We have a full online automated e-learning offering that can help improve consistency and adoption for your users of your project management tools. You can learn more about all of our services and solutions on our recently updated website, www.progility.com. We have upcoming webinars covering sessions on best practices for project and PPM processes and tools. Join us on March 7th for a highly requested session, a deep dive session into providing a better understanding of how resource availability and demand work in Microsoft's Project Online solution. After that, we've got 2 more sessions focused on providing the project management community with high-value tips and tricks from some of PROJILITY's expert consultants. You'll learn some great how-tos you can apply to your projects immediately. We're hosting in-person project roadshows in Austin and Houston, Texas during the week of May 14th, followed by another one in Atlanta, Georgia on May 22nd. You'll see the newest project management tools from Microsoft, learn how they can help your business, and discover the increasing role of AI in Microsoft Office 365 apps. You can register for these Eventbrite events with the link provided or by searching Eventbrite PROJILITY in your browser. Hope you can join us for these upcoming sessions. All videos from this and previous series are available on our best practice playlist on YouTube listed on this page. Topics range from managing your digital transformation program using PPM technologies to integrating PPM with agile line of business applications. Feel free to subscribe and access this library at any time and share with your colleagues. If you have any questions as you watch the presentation, please log them in the questions and answer manager at the top of your team screen, and we'll review this towards the end of our session. With that, I'll hand the presentation off to Rob Hirschman, partner here at PROJILITY. Rob, the floor is yours.
Thanks, Annie, and thanks everyone for joining. We shifted the focus of this presentation really to be about what's going on with Project for the Web, what's going on with Planner. There's a lot of changes that were announced in November at the Ignite conference by Microsoft, and we're getting almost daily questions on this. So our focus today is really explaining to you what those core changes are, what's new with Project for the Web and Planner, what does the roadmap going forward look like that Microsoft has made public, which is great. Also, what's the impact on your current technologies if you're using these solutions today, whether it's Project for the Web, Project Online, Planner, what does it all mean? Finally, we'll wrap up a little bit talking about artificial intelligence and Copilot and the impact AI is having, because that's really underlying everything Microsoft and the industry is doing as a whole, and how that's going to relate to project management solutions like these. Finally, we'll give you some links towards the end for some resources so you can watch some videos, some case studies, learn a little more about these technologies. Now, and if we look at the Microsoft 365 suite, there are many, many technologies as a part of that. Today, we're really focused on what's in the top right, Microsoft Project and what's going on with Microsoft Project and Microsoft Planner. But you're going to see touch points with a lot of other technologies that we talk about. And the investment here really has to do with bringing these into a cohesive whole and a cohesive part of Office 365 as it relates to interacting with team members, task collaboration, and task management all in one place. People have requested for years, I want to go to one place and see all of my tasks across all of my work. And that's really the overall direction and why some of these investments are being made right now. So we're going to focus on this and walk you through what's going on. To really introduce you to kind of the driver here, when the industry and Microsoft look at it, the work management landscape, they really see two sides of that puzzle. The first on the left is what's called collaborative work management, or CWM. This is really focused on business users and what are called kind of the informal or the accidental project managers, folks that are in your business that may do task management, that may need to collaborate on kind of lighter projects. They have to set goals. They want to manage that work in one place, and they want to track key elements of those. So that's the first user base. And collaborative work management is a huge growth area. If you look over the last 6 or 7 years, technologies in the marketplace, kind of web-based technologies in the collaborative work management space, they've really multi-billion-dollar industry. And Microsoft is making some serious investments in that space with these changes. On the right, we have traditional enterprise project and work management, which is more focused on the PMO, professional project managers, and also executives, where you're focused on portfolio management, resource management, kind of the management of objectives and key results, or OKRs as they're called, tracking and reporting on all of this information, doing cost management and financial management across projects, and advanced scheduling capabilities. So the challenge really is often these applications and these processes are really disconnected, and the tools are disconnected as well. So what Microsoft did really over the last 18 months is they took a look at some of the key technologies they had in this space, the collaborative work management, kind of leaning into the enterprise work management space. And they had Microsoft To Do, which is a task management tool. They had Microsoft Planner, and they had Project for the Web. And so really a lot of these changes have to do with these technologies and the overlap between them and ways to streamline that to give users a single user experience. That's where this is overall going. So if we kind of look at kind of the overall space for Microsoft, if we look at the bottom, the role of the information worker, a lot of information workers use tasks or To Do, which is embedded now in Outlook and Office 365, to really track, manage, and complete a lot of their just basic tasks and activities. So this is really an individual task management tool. Microsoft Planner is used not only for individual task management, but group collaboration and group task management in a Kanban type experience where you've got cards and a card structure. It also has a familiar task management tool set underlying it as well. So Planner has millions and millions of users out there, and it's a really important technology because Microsoft has lots of data about how people use Planner today, and they use that to influence the products up the scale from a project management perspective. Then they have Project for the Web, which is Microsoft's small, lightweight, or modern project management tool set, which has dynamic scheduling and Gantt charts. It has Kanban capabilities as well. It allows you to build work breakdown structures with subtasks and dependencies, so you get cross-project visibility through reporting. It also is built on the Microsoft Power Platform, which is that purple circle and the little diamond there. That is the application platform to expanding this out, to add forms and fields and automation, almost build your own application based on the needs you have specifically in your business. So really the investments Microsoft's talking about are here. Keeping in mind there is still Microsoft Project Online, or PPM, which is really the traditional enterprise PPM suite Microsoft has for portfolio and resource management, built on a SharePoint foundation that connects into the project desktop client you may have. And that, from an investment perspective, the changes we're talking about are really here. And Microsoft took a look at this, a hard look at this, looked at the collaborative work and enterprise work management market and said, there's really some commonalities here. And we're really looking to provide a single user experience across all of this. So what happened is the announcement in November was really that these are all being rebranded into the Planner suite. They're all going to be called Planner, and there's going to be different flavors of Planner around this, but essentially To Do, and it's going to roll into Planner, and Planner is going to be the task and work management engine. Project for the Web is going to roll in and be a premium version of Planner with similar functionality it has today, but it's all going to be streamlined in one set of interfaces. So just to make it easier for people to go between one and the other and not have to worry about having 3 tools to do it, it's all going to be called Planner. And there's just going to be different flavors or levels of Planner. And all of this is really driven by Teams and the adoption of Teams. As we know, this has been huge over the last 4 or 5 years. Front end to all of this technology initially is going to be Teams. That's where the investment is, because Microsoft finds people spend 80 to 90% of their day in Teams meetings, doing Teams collaboration on Teams channels and Teams sites. So really build it in a way where this is just a part of their everyday life. And that's really where all of this is headed, is the changes you see really relate to these products really coming together into a single suite called Planner. Okay, so for a timeline for these changes, Microsoft has made this public, which is great. So if we look from left to right now, what's happening? The current app, if you go into Teams, called the Tasks app by Planner and To Do, is now all being rebranded as Planner. There will be one app for all of that stuff. So that will be called Planner. In the spring, this upcoming spring, this new Planner experience we talk about, where it's all integrated into Teams, will be generally available. This is where Project for the Web gets transitioned over into being renamed Planner. And that functionality will be there then. So in the springtime, this is coming through Teams. And then sometime later in the year, maybe summer, I believe they're targeting, or early fall, this Planner web experience, everything you get through the web interface in Office 365 will be generally available. So everything as mentioned is being driven through Teams. Teams will be the first interface where changes will happen. And then later on, it'll come through the pure web interface. Some of the things people are asking is, what are some of the key functions, that are really going to be coming soon that are going to be of high value based on where Microsoft is headed? Well, the first of those that Microsoft has spent, a couple of years really working on is this concept of a consolidated task interface for user. If me as a user, I want to go into one place to see all of my activities, whether it's an action item, whether it's an actual formal task on a project, or whether it's just kind of from a planner plan, I should be able to go to one place to see all that. And that's really what assigned to me is all about. What are all the tasks assigned to me in one place? And when this is released, team members will be able to see all of their work in Microsoft Teams and provide updates directly from there. So no longer does a user have to go into a planner plan, get an email, go into Project for the Web, maybe go into to-do list. It's all going to be unified into Planner. And this is the biggest change. This is going to have probably the biggest impact on the way people work on a day-to-day basis. So Assigned to Me is a huge high-value feature that's coming very, very soon. Also, we're going to see an updated Microsoft Teams app specifically for Planner. So today there's a project app that talks to Project for the Web. There's a Teams app, there's a Planner app, and there's also a To-Do app. This is all going to be integrated together. So this is all going to be part of this. This is all going to come through Teams in a single Planner app. We're also seeing already connectivity into Microsoft's Viva Goals suite. Viva Goals is for OKRs and goal setting. And if you haven't seen it yet, it might be worth taking a look at it. This is actually live today. So if you're in Viva Goals and you want to connect goals or organizational or individual goals you're setting into a Project for the Web project or tasks in that project, you can do that today. And then you can track the activities in that project back up into the goals and see how far along you're getting to realizing your goals. This is another way. Again, Microsoft's trying to unify this entire world in their Office 365 suite around task management and mapping tasks to specific goals and activities. And finally, Copilot integration. This is all about artificial intelligence. This is really about enabling features and functionality that can allow the system to be a lot more proactive, to point to your data, to learn from your data, and then allow you to do different things. I'm going to walk you through some examples of what we're starting to see just from a beta perspective around Copilot integration. There is a link here on the page, and you'll also get access to this all after the session. This is actually the Microsoft Roadmap for Project, and that's where all of this comes from. And this is a public roadmap that you can see what's in the pipeline, what's coming near term, what's already been released. You can also go to the Microsoft Roadmap for M365, just select the product called Project, and you will see all this there as well. So, what's the impact on my current solutions? This is a call we're having several times a day right now. We'll just walk you through the different scenarios. The first one, if you're using Project Online, or if you're using Project Server today, there is absolutely no impact. As mentioned, this is really focused on the three products we talked about before: To Do, Planner, and Project for the Web. If you're using Project for the Web, as we know, there are different flavors of this. So if you're just using the core green scheduling app, we call it the green UI, you're going to see a rebranding to Planner. In fact, you may already see this in your Office 365 tenant. There's a little bar saying this will be called Planner soon. So that's the first thing, is a rebranding. The functionality you see today will continue forward, and it's going to continue to be enhanced through the Microsoft roadmap they have for Project for the Web. So it's going to keep growing functionality-wise. This isn't slowing it down. It's actually speeding things up a bit. If you have the Project Power app, and that is the Power app that sits behind your Project for the Web application, and you've built an application on that, maybe you use the accelerator or a partner accelerator like PROJILITY's, or you're building your own app there to capture other project-based information, there's no impact whatsoever. You're going to see some rebranding around that from the project name into the Planner name, but that's about it. The architecture around this in terms of the Dataverse will all stay the same for now. The Power App and all its related components are going to not change. The Tasks tab in that Project Power App will be rebranded to Planner, and you'll see that, and you might even see that warning there today. But again, as mentioned, there's no architectural changes you have to worry about. So if you're building on this today, Microsoft's going to continue supporting that structure as it is today. If you're using Planner today, you have the ability, and you will have the ability, to click a button and upgrade a Planner plan into a project for the web project. So you'll say, okay, this has grown to the point where it's actually a real project. It's not just a series of tasks and activities. I want to make this into a project. I want to have a work breakdown structure. I want to assign people. I want duration and work, and I want to track utilization and things like that. You can upgrade that in the near term into a project for the web project. Microsoft has spent a lot of time on that functionality because a lot of people have come and said, I'm kind of sealing out with Planner. I want to use some of these project tools. How do I do it? And this is an easy transition for your users. The key here is that when you do this, you want to talk to your Office 365 administrator because there will be a licensing requirement. The licensing requirement for Project for the Web today is a Project Plan 1 license. So a Planner user typically has a standard Office 365 license. Once they want to start using Project for the Web, they will need that license in order to actually initiate and own a project. So there'll be just that licensing component, the enabling of that functionality in the Office 365 tenant, and then that will allow users to actually step their projects up from Planner plans into Project for the Web, or Planner Premium, it's going to be called soon. So that's what's coming next. Licensing wise, and this is the really good news, no changes right now. So Microsoft has made it very direct. They aren't going to be making any changes near term. If there are going to be any changes in the future, they will announce those. But it is steady state with the licensing today. If you're using Project for the Web, you have a Plan 1 or a Plan 3 license, that will continue to give you the functionality. You're going to just see a rebranding and the availability in Teams of some of this functionality. So hopefully that gives you a little insight into the impact on your current solutions. But a lot of people are saying, what's the impact of Copilot and AI? Maybe your organization is piloting or thinking about this. This is a big investment. And so what Copilot is, it's driven by what's called a semantic index. What a semantic index is, it allows you to search for meaning within an underlying data structure. And Copilot uses this engine to get data from you and your organization. You tell it to access and allow it to have a future state to do things like commanding, telling Copilot to do something, plan this, add this, change this in a project. It allows for something called Q&A, being able to ask common questions, to synthesize something, and Copilot will come back with recommendations and learn over time, the large language models behind it. In a future state, we're really seeing this as a capability, really mapping across both project and project management in different ways. If you can start to imagine the ability to ask questions in the tool, such as show me projects that are running behind, or where we can't get something to market in time, or show me which resources on my team are over allocated that are creating bottlenecks, Copilot's going to be able to look at your data that you pointed to and learn. And we're really in the infancy of a lot of this stuff right now. There's a tremendous opportunity here to really streamline business processes beyond just having projects and project data. Now I can actually be more proactive with it. I can have a system tell me when things are going late. I can have a system notice things and maybe make recommendations for corrections. It can really streamline your data. And the foundation of this all begins by having a really solid AI strategy. That means aligning what data and sources in your organization think is really critical and building on top of what Microsoft calls its responsible AI structures prior to any of this happening. And our team at PROJILITY is working very hard on developing a lot of these capabilities and competencies, but really the use cases on how AI is going to be relevant to project management. So really think about Copilot and AI as the foundation going forward of ways you're going to be able to use your project management information in different ways, and thinking about scenarios like build me a project schedule based on a template I have, or Copilot, show me top risks across my projects, or Copilot, alert me if a certain task goes late and send me an email, or send my team an email, or Copilot, generate a report for me that gives me this information on these projects. Instead of you having to go in and code it or ask questions or call an administrator, Copilot's going to be a lot more proactive with that as long as project data is pointed to. So this is really one of the great opportunities we see coming out of the next couple of years, and Copilot and AI is really being embedded in that platform we talked about. What does this look like? And these are just some early screenshots. You can actually watch some of the videos we're going to send you and pull the stuff as well. So this is actually a Teams user interface. You see we're accessing the new planner through a Teams user interface. And this is where we see our grid, our board, our timeline, our charts, and our people, and our goals. So this is current project for the web coming in as the planner app in Microsoft Teams. But if you look at the top right-hand side, there's a new button there. So if you've enabled Copilot in your organization, and Microsoft, once they enable this in the Planner suite, you'll be able to actually click on that and start to drive action through Copilot with your project data. Well, again, what does that look like? Let's say I'm in a plan. In this case, I'm in a marketing campaign plan. I've got a series of tasks and activities, and I ask Copilot questions. I can add tasks. I can suggest tasks that go into the project, or I can have a communication. And I can say, who has the highest workload on my project? And Copilot can look across all the workload that's in your project and say, it's Mona Kane. She has 20 hours of work on this campaign this week. Or I can say, how much progress has she made? And it can tell you she's done 10 of the 20 hours of work. It's actually examining the data and answering your questions in normal English. And that's one of the powers of Copilot, that kind of question and answer, really driving it and prompting. So again, commanding, build me a project, questioning who has the highest workload. And this is another example of it, kind of taking Copilot to the next level here. You can go in and say, hey, Copilot, create a plan for me and add tasks that are related to a certain set of activities I have. Copilot can go and add them. You'll see it's a pretty flat list today. And then I can say, hey, Copilot, add 3 or 5 actions to validate the success of this and map those over to some goals, create some goals. And then you can say, do I want this or not? Does this look good? Yes or no, revert it. And it can kind of go back and forth until you get to a final state just by telling Copilot what to do. So it's a really powerful, powerful tool set that Copilot is really providing, and Microsoft is building on this specific to project management capabilities. So again, commanding, add 20 new tasks, question and answer, what tasks are laid. And hopefully this gave you some examples of kind of what's coming on the Project for the Web suite and the Planner suite as well. Finally, we did want to leave you with some resources. We are going to keep you up to date. We're going to try to do these webinars every couple of months as these changes are occurring. These are some pretty big changes going on. So as they start to hit in some of the tenants, we're going to make you all aware of it. Here's a link here for all the new planner videos that go through each and every scenario that Microsoft is mapping out, from basic use of tasking and to-dos and planner, all the way through more complex projects and programs. So you'll see that here. Also, you can take a link, and that's up on YouTube. You can link out to the project roadmap, which is going to show you what's coming, what's been released, and what's in the kind of far-term roadmap for Microsoft as well. You can always provide input to that as well. There's an input button there where you can actually say, hey, Microsoft, how about this or how about that? You can start to score things. So the project roadmap is a really, really powerful place to go and see what's coming next as it relates to these products. So that was really our goal today, just to give you an overview of kind of where Microsoft is headed. We will keep you updated on it all. And I guess I'll hand it back to Annie now to see if there are any questions.
Great presentation, Rob. We'll now open the floor to questions and answers. Remember to enter your questions in the questions and answer manager at the top of your team screen. Let's see if there's any questions in the queue. I see a couple. Just so I'm clear, is this the new planner we are looking at?
Yes, it is. So remember, Planner is going to combine Project for the Web, the current version of Planner, the current Planner tool, as well as To-Do. So the screenshots we're showing you are the next version, or the one that's coming. Those are early screenshots.
Will the changes mentioned happen within Teams this year also occur in the government tenant?
Good question. Microsoft is doing its best to stay up with the GCC, the Government Community Cloud as well. We can provide an update on that as soon as we get a little more information, but they usually drop things into commercial, and it's followed with government anywhere from 4 to 12 months later. So we're hoping it lands in government this year.
Rob, I think you answered this earlier, but will there be any updates to PWA?
None at all, no. Microsoft has made a commitment to continue supporting Project Online as well as Project Server. So what the changes here do not impact that. The only potential impact would be if you go into a Copilot scenario where you're doing artificial intelligence, the data in your PWA or Project Online instance could be a source of data, just like it is a source of data for your reporting in Power BI. So there are some opportunities there to leverage that if you're using it.
Seems like those are all the questions we have for now. If you have any more, feel free to email us. If you or anyone in your organization is looking for help or guidance with the planning, deploying, or driving good use and adoption of a Microsoft project-based solution, do reach out. Our new solution, Power Pro, is designed to streamline your project and Power Platform experience with the pre-configured components of over 20 dashboards and reports. It's a perfect way to jumpstart your Microsoft Power Platform journey. Lastly, you can visit our website, which has a series of blogs, as well as our YouTube channel that includes tons of great videos on the topics related to the information we shared today. Reach out via email, info@PROJILITY.com, if you'd like to talk about your specific needs. Thank you again for joining our webinar today. We appreciate your time and look forward to seeing you online for our next session. Have a great day.